Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 22 December 2022. It's the last Thursday before Christmas. And even so, it's time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have. We've got a cool sale tonight with some very interesting stuff. Some budget-friendly knives, lots of fixed blades, a little bit of everything. Before we get into the thick of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. Then I will print them in the description underneath this video so you can peruse them at your leisure. Please be familiar with them if you attempt to purchase a knife on tonight's sale. It makes things go much more smoothly for everyone if you are. Also in the description, right at the top above the terms of the sale, you're going to find 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first one is to my Primer for Buyers video, and if you are a new buyer to this weekly sales event, please give that a watch, because it explains in detail why the terms are the way the terms are. A little bit of philosophy on how we do things here, and specifics on how we do them. The second link will be to my FAQs for Consignors video. That one explains how this weekly event works if you are consigning knives for sale on this weekly video. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So the description will proceed thusly. The 3 links I just mentioned, followed by the terms of the sale. And then at the bottom, you will see the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, prices on the right. You'll normally see 2 prices in that column. The number to the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in this video. The price on the right as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service. There will be next day sharpening available for 3 knives this week. For the first 3 knives purchased to be sharpened, those will be done and shipped tomorrow, Friday the 23rd. If you don't make it into the first 3, but you want your knife sharpened, expect it to ship in about 3 weeks. If you see the word sold in lieu of a price in that third column, or that far right column, that means that knife has been purchased, it is bought, it is paid for, and it's on its way to its new home. No need to send an "I'll take it" for a knife marked sold! Exclamation point. That is it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you. We'll be right back with the sale after that. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we got 4 leftovers from last week's sale. The first one comes to us from Jack Wolf Knives, the brainchild of Ben Belkin. Comes in an outer box with an inner tube, but these are in, I think they're in aluminum. There's your graphic. This is the Jack Wolf Vampire Jack. Also comes with not a button, but kind of a coin. Also comes with a nice leather slip, and there's the knife inside. The Jack Wolf Vampire Jack. It is a coffin-handled jackknife. Kind of a fusion knife, right? Modern construction and materials. Slip joint mechanism. So you've got a titanium frame, and I believe the liners and bolsters are integral on these. And then the covers are lava flow carbon fiber. Closed length is 3 7/8. Inside that 3 7/8 handle comes a 3-inch blade crafted of Bowler M3 and 90. It is a full height hollow grind, kind of a grinder satin. A drawn swedge and a nail nick. Beautiful sharpening choil. Blade length is 3 inches. Walk and talk are great. Pull is about an 8. Centering is dead down the middle. Condition on this is like new in box with slip. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available online, they were $2.99. We ran this last week for $2.80. Got no takers, dropped it to $2.60 for the weekend. It's still here. This might be the least expensive, like new, lava flow vampire jack ever sold. $2.40 like it is. $2.65 with my edge. Next up, this is a shocker that this made it through last week. From Tactile Knives, we have the Rockwall. And the card says this one's kind of special. It has the Wi-Fi mill pattern on the titanium scales, which are going to be beautifully bronze anodized as well. Blade steel is Magna Cut at 61 Rockwall. Here's the knife. What a beauty. Bronze anodized, Wi-Fi mill pattern, and then all the hardware bronze anodized, including the backspacer. The clip not, though, just kind of a tumble polished clip. Closed length is 4 inches. Blade length 3 1/16 in beautifully stonewashed Magna Cut. A swedged drop point with a high saber grind. It is a liner lock mechanism. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. Bolt, bearing, pivot, thumb stud deployment. Action, centering, lockup, all perfect. Condition I'll call near mint to like new in box. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, they were $2.99. We ran this last week at $300 because it is kind of a special one. My seller thought maybe it would do more than that. It didn't sell. We dropped it to $2.75 for the weekend. Still here. So let's do this week $2.50 on maybe the rarest Rockwall Tactile has ever made. $2.80 if you like my edge on it. Next day sharpening is available. That's the Tactile Rockwall Wi-Fi. Next up, our lone leftover from Great Eastern Cutlery last week. This is a Northfield knife. It is a number 48 improved trapper pattern, model 488217 in sandbar Stag. You've got your slimline trapper frame. You've got a gorgeous muskrat clip with a little bit of goo on it. Nail nick and a cut swedge, Northfield etch. And then behind it is a full-length Warncliffe nail nick and a cut swedge. This is a TIW tang stamp, Titusville Ironworks from 17, so before these CNC grinders were introduced at GEC. There is your Stag. That would be the mark side. That would be the pile side. The match isn't exact, but the Stag is so deeply figured, it would be hard to get it exact. Pull weight, I will call a 6.5. Walk and talk are perfect. Both blades perfectly centered. I'm going to call this like new in tube. Couldn't find one of these recently sold or currently for sale. I thought $350 would be a buy. That's what we ran it at last week. It did not sell. We dropped it to $325 for the weekend. It's still here. This is the last knife from one consignment lot. And my seller said, you know what, let's make somebody a deal. $295 like it is. $325 with Apostle P edges on both blades. Next day sharpening available. That's the GEC Northfield number 48 improved trapper in Stag. Next up in our final leftover from last week, it is from Bastinelli Creations. And the model is the B.A.K, and I forgot what that stands for. Doggone it. But what you got is a fixed blade karambit with a ringtail. Since the sheath is here, let's talk about it. It is a Kydex affair with the tech lock. Great retention, zero rattle. The blade is crafted of Bowler N690, beautifully black PVD coated. Super cool fuller. Blade length is 3 5/16. And guys, that is an aggressive karambit. The handle is scaled in black G10 3D machine, nice swell. Interesting. Fox. Bastinelli, Fox, Almaniago, who cares? Everything crowned beautifully. Handle length is 4 3/16. I'm going to call this like new in box. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, they were $320, web new. We ran this last week at $210. It did not sell. We dropped it to $185 for the weekend. It's still here this week. Somebody gets a deal, $160 like it is, $190 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. This will be in your inventory as Bastinelli B.A.K PVD. PVD. Why? Because we have another one coming up that's not coated. And next up is the second Bastinelli B.A.K. Same box. Of course, right side up would be better. Same Kydex sheath. Same tech lock. Same Hawkbill karambit. Beautifully fullered. Man, that is gorgeous. Stonewashed Bowler N690. Blade length 3 5/16. Handle 4 3/16. Crowned and milled black G10. This one not PVD coated, just beautifully stonewashed. So these are out of stock everywhere. Web price when they were available was $320. My seller was going to run this at $210. I split them up over 2 weeks. Since we have the PVD coated one running at $160 this week, we're just going to do the same on this one. So $160 like it is, $190 with my edge. Take your pick, PVD coated or stonewashed. Great deal. That's the Bastinelli B.A.K. stonewashed. Next up, we've got one from Tops Knives. Interesting angles on this one, wouldn't you say? It is the Felony stop from Tops. I guess that would be a law enforcement knife design, right? You got your fold over Kydex sheath with a Tops steel spring clip affixed with Chicago screws. I think you could set that up a variety of ways. Pretty cool knife. So I guess it is a spear point with a big jimped scallop, 1095 steel, double edge, Nice crinkle coat, kind of a dark gray or a black crinkle coat. Black linen micarta scales that are removable. These are either a white or a very light gray liner. Blade length is 3.5. Handle is 3 15/16. It really melts in the hand. Good for thrusting. Condition on this one, like new, no box. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, web price was $130. This one can be yours. 80 bucks. 80 bucks like it is. $115 with my edge on both of those sharpened edges. That's the Topps Felony Stop. Next up, this is a really cool knife from CRKT, guys. A really cool knife. I sharpened this for this consignor some time ago. There's your big old fixed blade box, really. And the model is the CRKT Clever Girl. Molded plastic sheath. Big, beautiful tech lock. Milled G10 handle. Crinkle coat trailing point blade. SK5 is your blade steel. That used to be a rather darling steel of cold steel back in the good old days. Maglon design. Blade length is 4.5, handle length 5.5. In the hand, it's beautiful. That could be a defensive blade, that could be a skinner. I guess you could even lash it to a spear. Very cool, 5.5-inch handle. And it's got an almost unmolested ApostleP edge on it. Skinny hollow grind too. That thing will do some slicing, boys. Great retention in the molded sheath. Let's see. These are currently in stock at a couple different web retailers for 75 bucks plus tax plus shipping. This one can be yours. All in, shipped priority mail with an ApostleP edge, 70 bucks. That is a buy. That's the CRKT Clever Girl TAP for the ApostleP edge. Next up, okay, I got two very similar cold steel combos coming up. One subtle difference in the knives. Okay, so let me get this stuff laid out. Right. So let's take a look. We're going to call this cold steel combo number 1. The first knife is the Safe Maker 1. So the Safe Maker 1 is a push dagger. Very cool grind, by the way. It's a little hollow all the way across the back, and then it's kind of a double chisel with a fuller, and it's a push dagger, right? And I believe that Secure X sheath wants to be boot carried. 4-inch blade, 2.5-inch handle, Secure X sheath, molded plastic, Cray X handle, sort of a softer but hard rubber, Os 8 steel, Os 8A actually. Gotta put that in there the right way. Like new in box. The second knife is the Urban Edge. This is a smaller push dagger. It comes in a Secure X sheath with a beaded chain, really designed for net carry. 2 1/8 inches of blade, Os 8A. So this is flat on the back, chisel ground on the front, Cray X handle, obviously designed for neck carry. So you got a 2 1/8 blade, a 2 16th handle, like new in the box. So the SafeMaker 1 web price for these brand new, 45 bucks. For the Urban Edge, they sell for 22. What is that, 67? Plus tax, plus postage on both knives. You can buy both of them all in, shipped, priority mail, no sales tax, like new in box, 45 bucks, plus 35 to sharpen the SafeMaker, plus 25 to sharpen the Urban Edge. So your pricing is going to say $45.80, $105. And that is the Cold Steel Combo number 1. I got a house of cards over here. I'm going to try to stack this stuff up without spilling it all over. Next up, we have something called the Cold Steel Combo number 2. It's going to look very, very familiar to number 1. We have a SafeMaker 1 and an Urban Edge, just like the number 1 combo. The SafeMaker 1 is a SecureX sheathed, suitable for boot carry, I think. Push dagger, hollow ground all the way across the back, chisel ground on the front, double edged, fuller down the middle, OS 8A steel, 4-inch blade, 2.5-inch Cray X handle, like new in the box. Then the second knife, the Urban Edge. The difference between this combo and the first one is that the Urban Edge has a combo edge on one side, plain edge on the other. 2 1/8 blade, 2 16th handle, push dagger, SecureX sheath. I got it in there wrong. Beaded chain for neck carry. So again, pricing of these brand new, I think both are available. 45 for the SafeMaker, 22 for the Urban Edge. That'd be 67 total, plus postage, plus tax. You can buy both of these for 45 bucks, all in, shipped, priority mail. Plus 35 to sharpen the SafeMaker, 25 to sharpen the Urban Edge. So it's going to say $45.80, $105 for pricing. That is Cold Steel Combo number 2. Next up, very cool fixed blade knife coming up. And I don't believe I have featured any of their knives on my channel before. So I believe they would pronounce that Stroup knives. Veteran-owned, family-operated, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. All their knives are handmade in North Carolina. And the model we have here is the Bravo 5. A very soldiery looking fixed blade, but with some pretty cool rustic touches. I got a fold-over Kydex sheath, tech lock secured with Chicago screws, and I can configure that in a number of ways. Just a tiny bit of rattle, but great retention. And here's the knife. Now, it's a rather interesting looking, not like they ripped off anybody else's pattern, but I'm telling you what, guys, you get this thing in the hand and it is money. I mean money in a variety of grips. You've got a 1095 blade with a deep acid wash, satin saber ground flat bevel, then this dimple pattern that looks like it's put in with some kind of a grinding tool. Get a Stroup Knives Maker's Mark here, and then you've got, I don't know what that is, looks like some kind of a skull, kind of a modified Anso pattern on the gray G10 removable scales, lanyard hole. Blade length is 3 3/4, handles 4 inches. I will call this near mint in box. I think my consignor has attempted a polished edge, and frankly it's very sharp, just not super refined. So I will give you a sharpened price, but not because it's dull. Okay, this knife is available, but it's kind of hard to find. I had to search a little bit. One retailer, I found them in stock for 200 bucks. This one can be yours like it is, all in, shipped priority mail, 150, and then 175 if you'd like my edge on it. Frankly, I would use it, get it dull, and then send it to me. Just saying. That is the Stroup Knives Bravo 5. Next up, a very cool fixed blade. I am so happy to see SOG not only making good knives again, but innovating. This is the SOG Altair Altair FX, which stands for fixed blade, I believe, and very cool. Molded plastic or polymer sheath. Studies and observations group, it says on the clip. Very interesting clip system. It almost looks like a closed loop, but it's not. That clip would be removable, and then these slots would be used for lashing or molly attachment. Here is the blade. Blade steel is cryo treated CPM 154, a beautiful kind of smoky gray, not quite black, titanium nitride coating. Now it's probably a soldier blade, but with jimping at the base of the spine and up front, I see a little hunting knife there. OD green polymer scales, not removable. They must be fused on somehow. Beautiful chamfered exposed blade tang, lanyard hole. Nice piece, guys, and not too thick. I think less than 1/8 of an inch. Pretty cool. 3.5 blade, 4 1/8 handle. Super nice in the hand. Thin but still hand filling. Nice knife. So, price of these brand new at your favorite web retailer would be $150. $150. Let's do, I'll call this near mint, no box. Let's do 110 like it is. 135 with my edge on it. Next day sharpening is available, by the way, and it weighs nothing, guys. Cool knife. The SOG Altair FX. Next up, again, I'm going to toot SOG's horn. They are absolutely killing it. So for this knife, I have no box. Probably because it was a huge, nasty thing. I do have this inner card that explains how the knife works, including the interchangeable backspacer. So there's a backspacer installed that to which affixes the pocket clip. If you'd like to eschew that and just go with a lanyard, drop it in your pocket, you get this backspacer, and then there's your lanyard slot. Pretty cool. And check this. I teased you guys about this yesterday. This is the Altair XR. And I said, Benchmade, you better watch out, because SOG is coming after your bug out. Check it out, guys. So I've got a 4 1/8 handle. Out of it comes a spear point blade, titanium nitride coated, 154 cm with a cryo heat treatment, made in Taiwan. Polymer thumb studs, polymer XR lock actuating button. I believe that clip is also tie-dye coated. It is ambidextrous, deep carry, tip up. The handle scales they're calling squid ink black glass reinforced nylon. It's very dark blue, just so you know. But here's the deal, guys. 3.5 inches of blade. I'm sorry, 3 1/8 inches of blade. 4 1/8 handle. XR lock, which is very much like a Benchmade access lock. Rock solid lockup, beautiful action, beautifully centered. Weight 1.9 ounces. Yes. That's a pretty cool knife, guys, and they make them in a bunch of colorways, so that's very cool. Great job, SOG. These are $125 brand new from your favorite retailer, plus tax, plus postage probably, or just buy this one. Near mint, no box, with the backspacer lanyard attachment included. $100 like it is, $125 with my edge. That's the SOG Altair XR. Next up, got one from Spyderco, the Lone Spidey in tonight's sale. And it's kind of special for two reasons. First of all, it is a distributor exclusive for Blue Ridge. Second of all, it's not going to break the bank. It is a Tenacious in OD green with a black blade. You guys know this knife. 4 3/8 handle in beautiful OD green FRN. Black coated blade. 8CR13 MOV. 3 5/16 inches long. Stainless steel liner lock, locks up thusly. Centering is like dead down the middle. Action just fine. It's so new nobody's ever moved the clip. It's got the 4-way old Spidey clip. Condition is like new in the box. These are available at a couple retailers for $49 plus tax plus postage. This one can be yours. All in, shipped priority mail. $39. $64 if you'd like my edge on it. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first three. That's the Spyderco Tenacious OD B.A.K. Next up, we have one from the Benchmade Knife Company. It's a 940-2 Osborne. This knife needs no introduction. Black 3D machine G10, toxic green standoffs, Parkerized Emerson clip, studs and washers, let's say not quite a free dropper, but beautiful action. Rock solid lockup. Blade centering, how about dead? Nice full blade on this one. Long tip. Deep blade. It looks like my consignor has put a polished edge on it, but not super refined. It is quite sharp. I will give you a sharpened price, but I would again suggest use it till it gets dull. Very near mint in box, except for that sharpening. Beautiful mechanics. These knives have crept up. Map pricing from Benchmade at your favorite web retailer will be $207 nowadays. Let's do $160 on this one. $185 with my edge. That's the Benchmade 940-2 Osborne. Next up, I got another Benchmade, and I'm going to ask the buyer if I can hang on to this for about a week because I really want to do a review. I have not done one. It is a black box knife. It is the Benchmade 430 B.A.K. Redoubt. The Redoubt. I guess a lot of people view this as kind of a replacement for the Griptilian, but they're still making grips. Here we go. Grivery handle. That's two pieces, or three, I guess, right? You've got your gray panels that meet in the middle, and then I believe this green is one piece that goes all the way across with kind of a frag pattern. Very nice. A new Benchmade clip, deep carry, Parkerized, that mounts in the slot in the end of the handle. Very cool. Kind of a shorty. Axis lock mechanism on phosphor bronze. I almost cut my thumb off right there. Beautiful action. The coating we are calling cobalt black. First production run, the blade steel CPM D2. Don't let the D2 fool you. That is a beautiful steel. Chemistry very much like CTS XHP. Very, very nice. Gorgeous swedge drop point. The coating is gorgeous. Lockup is dead solid. The action's beautiful. The centering is dead. Condition on this, like new in box. Map pricing on these knives at your favorite web retailer, $180. This one can be yours for $130, shipped priority mail. $155 with my edge on it. And again, if the buyer would give me a week to ship, I'd appreciate the ability to review this knife. But you don't have to. So that's the Benchmade 430 B.A.K. Redoubt. Next up, we got a little work of art right here from WeKnife. The model is the 2101B Miscreant 3.0. What a beauty. Brad Zinker designed, I believe. Look at that. Black anodized titanium frame lock. Interesting. It is a right-hand tip-up deep carry clip. The chamfers on the holes are bright, but only on the show side. Kind of cool. And ball bearing flipper. There's your Brad Zinker maker's mark. It is a tumbled finish over a bead blast, and I think it looks like it's got a little acid wash on it. Gorgeous drop point blade. CPM 20 CV. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. Ball bearing flipper. Flipping action is stunning. 3-inch blade, 3 7/8 handle, very efficient blade to handle ratio. Action, centering, lockup, all perfect. Condition, near mint to like new in box. These are in stock brand new at your favorite web retailer for $169. This one can be yours at $125 like it is. $155 with my edge. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first three. That's the WE 2101B Miscreant 3.0. Time to turn the page. Next up, got one from Civivi. And the knife inside is the C2 double knot 60-3 Voltaic. Nice little EDC blade. Long EDC blade. I see some black canvas micarta scales. I see a thick stainless steel frame lock. I see a deep carry clip, blackened, that is ambidextrous tip up. Flipper, ooh, on bearings. Beautiful spear point blade. 14C28N, 3 7/16 inches long, full flat ground with a beautiful fuller on both sides. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. The ball bearing action is smooth and free. The centering is perfect. Flips like a rocket. Beautiful detent. Condition on this will be like new in the box. Price of these brand new at your favorite web retailer, $75. Or just buy this one, $55 like it is, $80 with an TheApostleP edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first three. That's the Civivi 20060-3 Voltaic. Next up, another one's from Civivi. This is the C21 double knot 6-1 Conspirator. Very similar theme to the last knife. Black canvas micarta scales. Ambidextrous deep carry pocket clip, tip up. It's also a ball bearing flipper, but with a button lock. Nice detent. How about that? Perfect blade centering. Perfect flipping action. Blade steel is Nitro V. Blade length 3 7/16. Handle is 4 5/8. I'm going to call this one like new in the box, but you know, it might have been touched up just a little. Just so you know, rock solid lockup. Price of these brand new online, and they are available, is 80 bucks. This one can be yours, 55 like it is, 80 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first three. The Civivi C21006-1 Conspirator. Next up, oh guys, we have another Civivi. It is the trademark Civivi. It's an Elementum model C2103CB-1. But look here, gray titanium handle, 20 CV blade. So this is a button lock Elementum, ambidextrous deep carry pocket clip, stainless steel lined, hidden lanyard post, beautiful sort of dark wash tumbled titanium scales. So it's got what looks like a long pull, but to actuate it you've got to depress the button, or you just fling it. You fling it. Look at that beautiful satin finish. Let me wipe. Man, they killed this. Look at the finish on that 20 CV blade. 3 7/16 inches of spear point with a nice graceful swedge. 4 9/16 handle. Ball bearing pivot. Everything beautiful. Centering is dead. Condition like new in the box. Price of these online. This is not a $50 Elementum, boys. These are $179 web new with the titanium, the 20 CV, the button lock. We're going to do this one at $140 like it is, $170 with my edge. Next day sharpening is available. That's the Civivi C2103CB-1 button lock Elementum. Next up, it's time for a petrified fish. The knife inside is the PF-P01D Beluga. This particular Beluga wears some nicely crowned black G10 scales. It's got a deep carry clip, reversible, left or right, tip up. It's a front flipper. I will not embarrass myself, except I just did. Blade steel is K110, bead blasted, 3 5/8 blade, 4 5/8 handle. The liner lock mechanism in stainless steel, beautifully machined liners on this knife, by the way. Phosphor bronze, I believe. Lockup perfect, centering perfect. Front flipping action, I don't know because I can't front flip. Condition like new in the box. Web price of this knife brand new, 47 bucks. Probably plus tax and shipping. Your price on this one, 30 bucks. You got a Christmas to go to next weekend, a week from now. You got a cousin you got to buy a gift for. Here you go. You'll not be embarrassed for that 30 bucks. 55 with my edge on it. That is the Petrified Fish PF-P01D Beluga. Next up, another petrified fish. This one is the PF-P03 GRMW Victor. The Victor. This one comes with some green canvas micarta scales and backspacer. tip up deep carry, ambidextrous pocket clip. Check this out, boys. It is a black coated, gorgeous clip point blade. There's your Victor logo, right? K110 blade, kind of a black wash, probably a tumbled PVD. 3 5/8 blade, 4.5-inch handle, very efficient blade to handle ratio. Stainless steel liner lock, beautifully executed, early lockup, rock solid. Ball bearing pivot. Blade centering very close to perfect, if not perfect. Condition like new in the box. Web price of these brand new is $46. Your price on this one, $30 like it is. $55 with an Apostle P edge. That's the PFP03 Victor from Petrified Fish. Next up, oh guys, from my personal collection, Great Eastern Cutlery, Northfield Unexcelled. I have a number 12 toothpick, model 128119er in LVS abalone. It is the 2019 Rendezvous knife. My personal knife. How do you know that? Because it's number 34. There might be a button in there. Is there a button in there? I think there is. There is. How about that? Yeah, buddy. Here's the knife. This is for sale because I need motorcycle money. And I'm not a huge toothpick fan. But I think this is the best toothpick ever. No shield. Laminated veneer sheet abalone. Lined and pinched bolster. Lined end caps. And a muskrat clip blade that's not ridiculously thin and pointy. Nice drawn swedge. Rendezvous knife etch. It is 4 1/32 closed. It's got beautiful cam tang walk and talk. About a 7 pull. Perfectly centered blade. It is like new in the tube. You can't find one anywhere. Your price, $295 like it is, $315 with my edge. That's in your inventory as GEC Northfield number 12 toothpick 19 Rendezvous knife. That brings us to the last knife in the sale. And this one's going to hurt. Oh, it's a Northfield from Great Eastern Cutlery, and it's a number 15. There aren't too many 15 Northfields. In fact, I can't remember another one. Yeah, I can. Anyway, this is Charlie's rope knife, designed by Charlie Campagna, model 15S 115. The S for the sailor blade, in antique yellow jigged bone. Charlie's tube label. And there's a couple cool things about this knife. First of all, it's a rope knife. And look at the history of the sailor's rope knife. These are designed to be pounded with a wooden mallet through a rope. That's why the theme. The rope theme on the bail. The rope theme on the bolsters. And this is the prettiest, most amazing jigging ever on any GEC knife. Widely recognized as such. It's got Charlie's diamond etch. And I did sharpen this one. It's probably been carried less than 5 times since I've had it. And it's a 7-year-old knife. It is beautiful. Pull weight, about a 7.5. Walk and talk are perfect. Blade centering is as well. So I'm going to call it near mint just because I sharpened it. These never come up for sale. Your price, $5.75 like it is. No need to sharpen. That's the GEC Northfield number 15 Charlie's Rope Knife. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Merry Christmas. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ, whose birthday we will celebrate in just a couple days. That's all for this one. Talk to you soon. Now commence to clicking.